Welcome to Wisped Tales. Today, we're diving into a fascinating story that will teach you how making money is like a game and how you can learn to win it. Alex Morgan was an ordinary 25-year-old living in Chicago. He had a small apartment, a steady job at a local coffee shop, and dreams that felt bigger than his bank account. Every day, Alex would watch people around him seeming to climb the ladder of success effortlessly. Friends buying new cars, colleagues moving into bigger apartments, but he felt stuck, unsure how to step forward. One evening, scrolling through his phone, Alex stumbled upon an article titled, "Making Money is a Game. Learn the Rules." At first, he laughed. "A game? Money?" he muttered. But curiosity kept him reading. The article explained that making money wasn't just about working hard, it was about understanding patterns, strategies, and risks, much like a board game. Alex felt a spark of hope. Maybe he had been playing the game wrong. The next morning, Alex decided to experiment. He treated his finances like a game board, each dollar like a piece he could move strategically. He wrote down every expense, every source of income, and started thinking about ways to increase his score. He realized that small wins could stack up over time, like leveling up in a video game. As days passed, Alex began noticing opportunities he had missed before: a freelance writing gig online, a small investment he could make in a friend's startup, even teaching English online to earn extra money. He was playing cautiously at first, but he felt alive with the thrill of possibility. The game had begun, and Alex was ready to play. Alex realized that to win a game, he first had to understand the rules. He started researching everything about money, investments, and side hustles. He read books on personal finance, watched videos on stock trading, and even joined online communities where people shared their experiences making money in unconventional ways. He discovered that the game wasn't just about working harder, it was about working smarter. At first, it was overwhelming. Terms like diversification, passive income, and compound interest seemed like a foreign language. Alex felt confused, but he reminded himself that every expert had once been a beginner. He made notes, highlighted important strategies, and even created a visual map of his finances. On this map, every dollar had a role. Some were for savings, some for investing, and some for exploring opportunities. Soon, Alex encountered his first challenge: choosing where to start. Should he invest in stocks, put money into a side business, or learn a new skill to increase his earning potential? He knew that every choice carried risk. The game wasn't about avoiding risk, it was about understanding it. He decided to start small, experimenting with online freelancing. Writing articles and tutoring English online seemed manageable, and he could track his earnings easily. The first week was a roller coaster. Some gigs paid well, others barely covered the effort. He made mistakes, underestimated deadlines, and even lost a small amount of money on a platform that didn't deliver as promised. But Alex didn't give up. Instead, he treated these failures as lessons. Each mistake revealed a part of the game he hadn't understood before: the importance of researching opportunities, setting clear goals, and managing time efficiently. As the weeks went by, Alex started noticing patterns. Certain clients returned repeatedly, willing to pay premium rates for quality work. He learned to negotiate, politely asking for higher pay when he felt his work deserved it. Slowly, his earnings grew. But Alex knew this was just one part of the game. He needed to think bigger, about investments, creating assets, and making money work for him, not just trading his time for cash. One rainy evening, sitting by his window with a cup of coffee, Alex made a vow. He wouldn't just play the game, he would master it. He realized that winning wasn't about luck, it was about strategy, discipline, and learning from every move. And so, with determination, Alex prepared to take his next big step in the game, a step that could change his financial life forever. Alex spent the next few days reflecting on his finances and the progress he had made. His freelancing gigs had started to provide a small but steady income, but he knew that trading time for money alone would never get him to the kind of financial freedom he dreamed of. He needed to make his money work for him, and that meant stepping into the world of investments. He began cautiously. Alex opened a small brokerage account and started researching stocks, ETFs, and mutual funds. Every night, he would sit at his kitchen table with his laptop, reading articles, watching tutorials, and taking notes. The world of investments felt like a giant puzzle, but that challenge excited him. He realized that making money in the stock market wasn't about guessing, it was about strategy, patience, and timing. The first stock Alex bought was a small tech company he had been following for months. He didn't invest a large sum. He was careful to only risk what he could afford to lose, but he felt a thrill as he clicked buy. This was more than money changing hands. It was a commitment to learning the rules of a game he had never played before. At first, the value of his stock fluctuated wildly. Some days it went up slightly, and other days it dipped, causing Alex to feel anxious. He almost panicked once when it dropped by 5% in a single morning. But then he reminded himself of what he had learned. Investing was about thinking long-term, not reacting to every move. Each dip was an opportunity to understand the market better, not a failure. Alongside stocks, Alex explored other forms of income. He started reading about real estate and small business investments. He realized that diversifying his efforts, having multiple streams of income, was key to winning this game. He didn't have the money for a property yet, but he could start small, participating in investment groups, crowdfunding projects, or even learning skills that could later lead to entrepreneurial ventures. One day, Alex attended a local networking event focused on young professionals interested in investing. The room buzzed with conversations about strategies, trends, and the next big thing. Alex felt nervous at first, but soon he started connecting with people who shared tips and experiences. One mentor, an older woman named Clara, advised him, "The most important rule in this game is patience. Fast money is tempting, but lasting wealth comes from consistent, smart moves." Alex took this advice to heart. He started keeping a journal of every financial decision, every small win, and every setback. By tracking his moves, he began noticing patterns. Which types of investments performed better, which freelancing clients were more reliable, and how to manage his budget more efficiently. Slowly, he started feeling in control, like a player mastering a complex game. Alex had made significant progress. He had a small portfolio of stocks, a growing freelance income, and a list of potential opportunities for the future. He realized that making money truly was a game, but it was a game that rewarded knowledge, patience, and smart choices. And with each day, Alex felt more confident that he could win. With a few weeks of success under his belt, Alex began to feel confident, but he quickly realized that confidence alone wouldn't guarantee wins. The game was becoming more complex. While his small investments and freelance work provided steady progress, Alex wanted to accelerate his growth and discover opportunities that could change the trajectory of his life. He decided to attend a financial seminar hosted in downtown Chicago titled "Advanced Strategies to Multiply Your Income." The room was filled with ambitious professionals, young entrepreneurs, and experienced investors. The speakers discussed advanced concepts, compound interest, leverage, passive income streams, and diversifying into unconventional assets. Alex felt both inspired and intimidated. The strategies seemed powerful, but also risky if not executed carefully. One speaker caught Alex's attention, Marcus Hill, a successful entrepreneur and investor. Marcus shared a story about how he started with nothing, learning step by step, making mistakes, and then eventually building multiple streams of income. He said, "The secret isn't luck, it's strategy. You need to treat money like pieces on a chessboard. Each move should have a purpose and a plan." Inspired, Alex returned home with a renewed mindset. He started thinking beyond just earning money. He wanted his money to generate more money, creating a cycle that would compound over time. But this meant taking calculated risks. He explored peer-to-peer lending platforms, small business partnerships, and even cryptocurrency, a field he had been hesitant to enter due to its volatility. The first risk he took was small. He invested a portion of his earnings in a friend's online startup. The initial thrill of being part of something new was electrifying, but the reality quickly set in. The startup faced delays, and progress was slower than expected. Alex felt a twinge of anxiety, worried he had made a wrong move. But he remembered Marcus's advice: every setback is a lesson. He closely monitored the business, offered ideas to improve marketing, and stayed patient. Slowly, the startup began to gain traction, and Alex's small investment started showing promise. At the same time, Alex noticed that his freelance work had plateaued. Clients were no longer bringing in the same income, and competition online was increasing. He realized he needed to upgrade his skills to stay ahead. He enrolled in an advanced copywriting course, learning techniques to write more persuasive content, optimize for search engines, and attract higher-paying clients. His daily routine now included hours of skill building, financial analysis, and strategic planning. The first real test came when Alex decided to combine several strategies at once. He reinvested earnings from freelancing into stocks, contributed to his friend's startup, and experimented with a small cryptocurrency portfolio. For a moment, it felt overwhelming, juggling multiple game pieces at the same time. Then, one evening, he had a breakthrough. He noticed a pattern. When he balanced risk with research and carefully tracked outcomes, he could predict which moves were likely to pay off. The game, once chaotic, started to feel like a system he could master. By the end of Chapter 4, Alex was no longer just an amateur player. He had faced challenges, made mistakes, learned advanced strategies, and was beginning to see the rewards of patience, skill, and careful planning. The game was intensifying, and Alex realized that the real victories would come to those who stayed disciplined, strategic, and adaptable. The stakes were higher now, but so were the opportunities. By now, Alex had learned that making money wasn't just about hard work, it was about smart work. He had experienced small victories in freelancing, investments, and business partnerships, but he noticed a common theme. Trading time for money had its limits. Every hour he spent working could only earn so much. If he wanted to win the game on a bigger scale, he needed to discover passive income, the kind of money that worked for him even when he wasn't actively working. Alex began researching ways to create income streams that didn't require constant effort. He read about dividend-paying stocks, rental properties, digital products, and online courses. Each concept seemed like a new level in the game, a level that could reward him repeatedly if played correctly. He was particularly fascinated by the idea of building assets that could generate money over time. The first step was small but strategic. He invested in dividend stocks, choosing companies with a history of consistent payouts. Each quarter, when the dividends arrived, he felt a sense of accomplishment. This wasn't just money, it was a tangible reward for the strategy he had carefully planned. It was proof that the game could be won with patience and intelligence. Next, he explored digital products. He had always enjoyed teaching English and writing, so he created an online course for beginners wanting to improve their English skills. He spent weeks recording videos, creating worksheets, and organizing the course. It was hard work up front, but he knew that once the course went live, it could sell to hundreds of people repeatedly without him having to teach each student individually. The idea excited him. This was true leverage, making his knowledge a source of ongoing income. Meanwhile, Alex continued investing in small business opportunities. Some ventures were slow to start, others faced unexpected challenges, but Alex had learned to analyze risks and diversify his efforts. He realized that a single failure didn't mean the game was lost, it was just part of the learning curve. Over time, a combination of small wins began to build into something substantial. Alex also started to notice a shift in his mindset. Previously, he had been anxious about money, always worried about making ends meet. But now, he approached opportunities with curiosity and strategy. He no longer saw money as merely currency. It was a tool, a way to unlock freedom, creativity, and new experiences. He began tracking his passive income alongside his active income and discovered that even small amounts could grow surprisingly fast when reinvested consistently. One evening, Alex reflected on how far he had come. Sitting on his balcony, watching the Chicago skyline, he calculated his monthly earnings. His freelancing, investments, and digital products combined were beginning to surpass what he had earned at his coffee shop job. More importantly, he felt a sense of control and empowerment he had never known before. The game of money was no longer a mystery. It was something he could navigate, piece by piece. Alex had now reached a stage where his passive income streams were steadily growing, and his freelancing provided reliable cash flow. Yet he felt a spark of ambition he hadn't experienced before. Making money through investments and digital products was rewarding, but he wanted something bigger, something he could fully control. It was time to enter the world of entrepreneurship. He started by brainstorming ideas. Alex wanted a business that aligned with his skills and interests, but also one that had potential for growth. He listed his strengths: writing, teaching, digital marketing, and connecting with people. He also studied market trends, looking for opportunities where demand was high but competition wasn't overwhelming. After days of research and reflection, an idea struck him: an online platform offering personalized English learning plans for students worldwide, combining live tutoring, interactive exercises, and AI-based progress tracking. The first step was planning. Alex created a detailed business plan. He listed his target audience, analyzed competitors, and calculated startup costs. He knew that success wouldn't happen overnight, but a strong plan would give him direction. To fund the venture, he decided to reinvest a portion of his savings and freelance earnings, balancing risk carefully so that he wouldn't jeopardize his other income streams. Building the platform was harder than Alex anticipated. Coding the website, designing an intuitive interface, and creating engaging lessons required long hours and focus. He faced multiple setbacks: software bugs, payment system issues, and even moments of self-doubt. There were nights when he considered giving up, thinking maybe the game of entrepreneurship was too risky. But Alex remembered why he started. He wanted freedom, financial growth, and the thrill of mastering the rules of the money game. Slowly, the pieces began to fall into place. Alex collaborated with freelance developers to fix technical problems and hired a graphic designer to make the platform visually appealing. He created trial lessons and conducted test sessions with a small group of students. Feedback was mixed at first, but constructive criticism helped him refine the service. Each adjustment made the platform stronger, more professional, and more attractive to potential users. Marketing was another battlefield. Alex had to learn strategies for social media advertising, search engine optimization, and email campaigns. He experimented with Facebook and Instagram ads, tracking which messages attracted students and which didn't. He realized that making a great product wasn't enough. People had to discover it, trust it, and feel motivated to use it. This lesson was crucial. In the game of money, visibility and communication were just as important as the product itself. Then came the first major breakthrough. A student from Brazil signed up for a monthly subscription plan, followed by another from Spain. Word began to spread slowly, and soon Alex had dozens of students paying for his service. Each new subscriber felt like a small victory, validating his hard work and reinforcing the strategies he had learned in freelancing and investments. He was learning a critical lesson. Entrepreneurship wasn't a solo journey. It was about creating value for others while managing risks and scaling smartly. With his online English learning platform steadily growing, Alex realized that building a business was just the beginning. The next level of the game was scaling, taking what worked and expanding it to reach a larger audience without losing quality or control. Scaling, Alex knew, was where many aspiring entrepreneurs failed. It required careful planning, creativity, and strategic thinking. Alex began by analyzing his current operations. He looked at student engagement, feedback, and retention rates. He noticed patterns. Students who received personalized attention and regular progress reports were more likely to stay subscribed. Others dropped out after a few weeks if they felt unsupported. Alex realized that scaling wasn't just about attracting new users. It was about improving the system so that every student could have a great experience, even as numbers grew. To achieve this, Alex automated several parts of his platform. He implemented AI tools to track student progress, send reminders, and provide exercises tailored to individual skill levels. This reduced the need for him to manually manage every student while maintaining a high-quality learning experience. It was a revelation. Technology could amplify effort, making the game of money more manageable and strategic. After expanding his student base, he shifted his focus to investments. He revisited the principles he had learned about risks and rewards. He diversified his portfolio, allocating funds across different asset classes, including stocks, bonds, and real estate. He approached investments not as a gamble, but as a strategic game, monitoring market trends and adjusting his moves based on data. Diversifying his income streams meant he wasn't solely reliant on his online business, which gave him greater financial security. The first major challenge came when a technical glitch caused the platform to crash during a live lesson. Several students were affected, and Alex feared losing their trust. He worked through the night with his developers to fix the issue, personally apologizing to students and offering extra support. The response surprised him. Students appreciated his dedication, and many praised the way he handled the situation. Alex realized that challenges, when handled well, could strengthen loyalty and reputation. As the months passed, revenue grew exponentially. Subscriptions increased, new features were added, and the platform gained a reputation for high-quality, personalized learning. Alex began tracking key metrics: customer acquisition cost, retention rates, and lifetime value per student. He treated these numbers like pieces on a game board, analyzing every move and making adjustments to improve outcomes. With his online platform thriving, Alex felt a mix of excitement and curiosity. He had discovered the thrill of entrepreneurship, built a team, and successfully scaled his business. But he knew that relying on a single income source was risky. Life had taught him that unforeseen events could disrupt even the best-laid plans. To truly master the money game, he needed to diversify. Alex began by reviewing all his income streams. Freelancing still provided steady cash, his digital course sales were consistent, and his platform had started generating substantial recurring revenue. His investments in stocks and dividends offered additional income, and he even had a small stake in a friend's startup that was beginning to show promise. But Alex realized that the game required balance. Too much focus on one area could expose him to risk, while spreading efforts wisely could maximize gains. The first step in diversification was research. Alex studied various markets, from real estate and precious metals to emerging technologies like blockchain and renewable energy. He joined online forums, attended webinars, and spoke with mentors who had successfully diversified their portfolios. Every new conversation expanded his understanding of how money could work in multiple directions simultaneously. Alex decided to invest in a small real estate project, a shared apartment rental aimed at young professionals in a growing Chicago neighborhood. He partnered with a trusted developer, contributing a portion of his savings while carefully assessing risk. Managing the property wasn't his primary focus. Instead, he treated it as a long-term asset that would provide steady rental income. Each month, when rent was collected, Alex felt the satisfaction of earning money without requiring constant work, a tangible example of the power of diversification. Next, Alex revisited the stock market. He had some individual stocks, but now he explored index funds and ETFs, which offered exposure to larger markets with lower risk. He learned to balance growth stocks with safer dividend-paying options. Each choice was deliberate. He measured potential returns against risk, considering both short-term gains and long-term security. Diversification, he realized, wasn't just about spreading money. It was about strategy, patience, and understanding the rules of each market. Alex also experimented with small business ventures. He invested in an eco-friendly packaging startup run by a friend and joined a co-working space incubator to discover other potential partners. Some ventures failed or moved slower than expected, but Alex had learned to treat setbacks as lessons rather than losses. Each failure revealed gaps in research, timing, or strategy, and Alex adjusted his approach accordingly. Another lesson came unexpectedly. One evening, while analyzing his income streams, Alex realized that diversification wasn't only financial, it was also about skills, knowledge, and networks. The more he learned and the more connections he built, the greater his ability to spot opportunities and reduce risks. He started mentoring other young entrepreneurs, sharing his strategies and learning from their experiences in return. This exchange expanded his perspective, giving him insights into markets he hadn't considered before. By now, Alex had built multiple income streams, scaled his business, and diversified his investments. His life had transformed dramatically from the days of living paycheck to paycheck. Yet, as he would soon discover, mastering the money game wasn't just about growth, it was about resilience in the face of setbacks. The first major challenge came unexpectedly. One morning, Alex received an urgent email from the hosting company of his platform. Due to a security breach affecting multiple users, the site would be temporarily shut down. Panic surged through him. His students relied on the platform. His reputation was at stake, and lost access could lead to canceled subscriptions. Alex felt a wave of fear, weeks of work potentially compromised. But he took a deep breath. Over the years, Alex had learned that setbacks were inevitable and that the way he responded defined his success. He quickly contacted his developers, created a communication plan for students, and offered free access extensions as compensation. Late into the night, he worked tirelessly to restore the platform and ensure no user data was lost. The process was exhausting, but it taught him a critical lesson. Crises were part of the game, and preparation, quick thinking, and transparency were essential tools. Around the same time, one of Alex's small business investments began to underperform. The eco-friendly packaging startup, despite initial promise, struggled with supply chain delays and rising costs. Alex watched his capital shrink, and frustration crept in. It was a stark reminder that even well-researched ventures could face uncontrollable challenges. Yet, he reminded himself that diversification was his safety net. Losses in one area didn't spell disaster because other streams remained intact. Financial setbacks weren't the only challenges. Managing his growing team became increasingly complex. Miscommunications arose, deadlines were missed, and morale dipped during periods of high stress. Alex realized that leadership was not just about giving instructions, it was about motivation, empathy, and creating a culture of accountability. He invested time in mentoring his team, listening to their concerns, and implementing processes to improve collaboration. Slowly, the team became more cohesive and operations ran more smoothly. These experiences tested Alex's resilience. He discovered that in the game of money, setbacks were not failures, they were lessons. He learned to view obstacles as opportunities to improve systems, strengthen decision-making, and build emotional discipline. Each challenge reinforced his belief that success was not just about intelligence or skill, but about persistence, adaptability, and maintaining a positive mindset under pressure. During this period, Alex also realized the importance of mental and physical well-being. Long hours and stress were taking a toll, so he began incorporating routines for exercise, meditation, and reflection. He understood that winning in the money game wasn't just about strategy, it required stamina, focus, and clarity of mind. By taking care of himself, he could make better decisions and face challenges with greater composure. After facing several setbacks, Alex realized that no matter how skilled or strategic he became, he couldn't win the money game alone. The next level required guidance from those who had already succeeded and connections with people who could open doors to new opportunities. He decided it was time to fully embrace mentorship and networking as tools to accelerate his growth. Alex began by reflecting on the mentors he had already encountered. Clara, the wise investor from early on, and Marcus, the entrepreneur who taught him patience and strategy, had been invaluable. But he now needed more targeted guidance in areas like scaling businesses internationally, advanced investment strategies, and emerging tech markets. He reached out to successful entrepreneurs through online communities, industry events, and LinkedIn, seeking advice and building relationships. The first breakthrough came when he connected with Julian, a tech entrepreneur who had scaled multiple online education platforms globally. Julian agreed to mentor Alex, offering insights into managing international students, automating operations, and marketing at a larger scale. Alex absorbed every detail, from understanding cultural preferences in learning to structuring subscription models to optimizing pricing strategies for maximum retention. Each conversation was like unlocking a hidden level in the game. He was gaining knowledge that would have taken years to learn on his own. Simultaneously, Alex invested time in expanding his network. He attended conferences, webinars, and local meetups, meeting like-minded individuals who were also building businesses or investing in innovative ventures. He learned the subtle art of networking, not just exchanging business cards, but genuinely connecting, sharing ideas, and finding ways to create value for others. He discovered that opportunities often came from relationships, not advertisements or luck. One significant connection led to a partnership with an international language school that wanted to integrate Alex's platform into their curriculum. This partnership instantly expanded his reach to thousands of students overseas, boosting revenue and credibility. Alex realized that the game was not just about money or ideas, it was about influence, collaboration, and creating networks where everyone could benefit. Alex also began mentoring younger entrepreneurs. By sharing his experiences, offering advice, and listening to their perspectives, he gained new insights and fresh ideas. He noticed patterns he had previously overlooked and discovered innovative approaches to challenges he faced in his own business. Mentorship, he realized, was a two-way street. Teaching others reinforced his own knowledge, while learning from their experiences accelerated his growth. During this period, Alex refined his decision-making process. He started seeking multiple perspectives before making major moves, consulting mentors, trusted peers, and experts. This approach reduced risks and increased his confidence in pursuing larger, bolder strategies. He learned to combine intuition with data, advice, and research to make informed decisions. By this point, Alex had built a thriving platform, diversified investments, and developed a strong network of mentors and collaborators. He had mastered the fundamentals of the money game and understood the power of patience, strategy, and resilience. But Alex realized that to truly accelerate his wealth creation, he needed to explore high-risk, high-reward strategies. These were moves that could potentially multiply his success or set him back if executed carelessly. Alex began by researching markets that offered high returns, startups, emerging technologies, and speculative investments like cryptocurrencies. Each option carried significant risk, but Alex approached them systematically. He knew that the key wasn't blind speculation, it was calculated risk. He carefully studied market trends, analyzed data, and sought guidance from mentors who had experience navigating volatile sectors. The first major step was investing in a promising tech startup focused on AI-driven education tools. Alex contributed a portion of his capital and became an advisor, providing insights on user experience and marketing strategies. The startup was in its early stages, with limited revenue but tremendous potential. While the risk was high, Alex calculated that the reward could be transformative if the company succeeded. He reminded himself of an essential rule: always invest only what he could afford to lose. At the same time, Alex experimented with short-term trading in the stock market. Using techniques he had learned from mentors, he began identifying undervalued stocks and growth opportunities. This required constant attention, research, and discipline as the market moved quickly and unpredictably. Alex experienced days of exhilaration when trades performed well and days of frustration when the market moved against him. Each success and failure provided lessons in timing, strategy, and emotional control, critical skills for anyone attempting high-risk investments. Alex also explored cryptocurrency. Initially, he was cautious, treating it as a small, experimental portion of his portfolio. He studied blockchain projects, market capitalization, and community engagement before making any purchases. He discovered that crypto wasn't just about speculation, it was a new ecosystem with opportunities for innovation, partnerships, and early adoption of technologies that could shape the future. His investments were small but deliberate, each move backed by careful research. However, high-risk strategies were not without challenges. One of the startups he invested in faced unexpected regulatory hurdles, causing its valuation to dip. A cryptocurrency he had purchased experienced extreme volatility, dropping significantly before rebounding. Alex experienced moments of doubt and anxiety, questioning whether he was overextending himself. But he reminded himself of the lessons learned previously. Diversification, patience, and informed decision-making could mitigate losses. He monitored the situation closely, stayed rational, and avoided impulsive decisions. To manage these risks effectively, Alex implemented a system. He allocated a specific portion of his capital to high-risk ventures, keeping the majority of his assets in safer, long-term investments. He maintained detailed records, tracked performance metrics, and consulted mentors before making major moves. This structured approach allowed him to embrace high-reward opportunities without jeopardizing his overall financial stability. After months of hard work, experimentation, and strategic risk-taking, Alex had reached a level of financial success he had never imagined. His platform had thousands of users, his investments were growing, and he had multiple streams of income providing both stability and growth. But Alex knew that wealth without a plan could easily slip away. The next level of the money game was long-term planning and preservation. Alex began by assessing his financial landscape comprehensively. He listed all sources of income, assets, debts, and liabilities. He analyzed which streams were reliable, which were volatile, and which had the potential for future growth. He realized that planning for the future required a holistic view of money, treating it as a system where each part influenced the whole. One of the first steps was creating a long-term financial plan. Alex set clear goals, expanding his platform internationally, increasing passive income streams, diversifying his investments further, and building assets that could provide generational wealth. He broke these goals into actionable steps, creating timelines and milestones for each. The act of writing a concrete plan gave him clarity and focus, turning abstract ambitions into measurable objectives. Next, Alex focused on wealth preservation. He studied strategies for protecting his assets from inflation, market downturns, and unforeseen emergencies. He diversified his investment portfolio further, allocating funds to safe instruments like government bonds and stable dividend-paying stocks. He purchased insurance for his business and personal life, ensuring that unexpected events wouldn't derail his progress. Wealth, he realized, wasn't just about accumulation, it was about safeguarding what he had earned. Alex also understood the importance of tax strategy. He consulted a financial advisor to optimize his investments and business earnings, taking advantage of deductions, credits, and retirement planning tools. By minimizing unnecessary expenses and strategically reinvesting his earnings, he could maximize growth while maintaining compliance. This knowledge added another layer of sophistication to his game plan, showing him that mastering finances was not only about earning money, but also about keeping it and multiplying it wisely. In addition to financial measures, Alex thought about personal development. He knew that long-term success required mental, emotional, and social intelligence. He dedicated time to learning new skills, staying updated on market trends, and cultivating relationships with mentors, peers, and students. By investing in himself, he ensured that his decisions would remain informed, strategic, and adaptive to changing circumstances. By now, Alex had achieved financial stability, diversified his investments, and established a thriving online platform. Yet, he realized that wealth alone wasn't the ultimate measure of success. The next level of the money game involved giving back, sharing knowledge, and creating an ecosystem where others could succeed alongside him. Mentorship and collaboration became his new focus. Alex began by reflecting on his journey. He remembered the mentors who had guided him, Clara, Marcus, Julian, and how their advice had accelerated his learning and growth. He realized that mentoring others could multiply impact, not just in financial terms, but in shaping a community of driven, capable individuals. Sharing his experiences would not only help others, but also strengthen his own understanding and leadership. He started by offering mentorship to young entrepreneurs in his city. Alex organized workshops, online webinars, and one-on-one sessions, teaching strategies for freelancing, investments, and building scalable businesses. He shared lessons about risk management, diversification, and resilience, the very lessons that had taken him years to learn. He encouraged mentees to experiment, take calculated risks, and develop a strategic mindset towards money. Through mentorship, Alex discovered a new perspective on the money game. He realized that success could be amplified by collaboration. One of his mentees, a recent college graduate named Sophia, had a talent for social media marketing. Alex invited her to join his platform team, helping expand marketing efforts to international audiences. Sophia's creativity and expertise brought new energy to the business, increasing user engagement and subscriptions. Alex saw firsthand that empowering others could create exponential growth for them and for him. Alex also fostered a network of like-minded entrepreneurs and investors. He organized monthly meetups and online forums where members could share ideas, strategies, and opportunities. This community became a hub of collaboration where participants could learn from successes and failures alike. Alex realized that networking wasn't just about gaining opportunities for himself, it was about building an ecosystem of mutual growth and support. At the same time, Alex explored partnerships with other businesses. He collaborated with educational apps, language schools, and digital content creators to offer bundled services. These partnerships expanded his reach while creating value for others in his network. He began to see the money game as a larger system, Success wasn't a zero-sum game. It was about creating shared wins that could grow over time. Mentoring and collaboration also taught Alex humility and emotional intelligence. He encountered mentees who struggled, made mistakes, or questioned his advice. Instead of frustration, he approached each situation with patience, empathy, and constructive guidance. He learned that true leadership required nurturing potential, listening actively, and celebrating the growth of others as much as his own. With a strong domestic foundation, Alex realized that the next level of the money game was global expansion. His platform was thriving in the US, his passive income streams were growing, and his network of mentees and collaborators had created a vibrant ecosystem of knowledge and opportunity. But to truly scale his success and impact, he needed to reach international markets. Alex began by conducting extensive research. He studied language learning trends across Europe, Asia, and South America, analyzing demand, cultural preferences, and the competitive landscape. He discovered that while English education was a global need, each region had unique expectations. Students in Japan preferred structured formal lessons, whereas learners in Brazil sought interactive conversational approaches. Understanding these nuances was crucial for creating tailored offerings that could succeed in diverse markets.
To navigate this complex terrain, Alex leveraged his network. He reached out to international partners, educators, and marketing experts to gain insights. Julian, his mentor, connected him with contacts in Europe and Asia, providing guidance on local regulations, payment systems, and marketing channels. Alex also joined online forums and global business groups, learning from entrepreneurs who had successfully expanded internationally. The process was painstaking but essential. He knew that mistakes in global markets could be costly. Alex began by localizing his platform. He hired translators to adapt content into multiple languages and worked with educators to ensure cultural relevance. Marketing campaigns were tailored to each region, emphasizing features that resonated with local audiences. For example, interactive AI-driven exercises were highlighted in Japan, while live tutoring packages were emphasized in Brazil. Each move was carefully planned, tested, and adjusted based on feedback. The first international launch was in Canada and Mexico. Alex approached it cautiously, targeting a small audience and closely monitoring engagement and feedback. The results were encouraging. Students appreciated the personalized learning plans and intuitive platform, and word of mouth began spreading in local communities. Encouraged, Alex expanded into Europe, launching campaigns in Germany, France, and Spain. Each market presented new challenges, time zones, payment methods, and local regulations, but Alex treated them as opportunities to refine his systems and improve operations. Expanding globally also required advanced financial planning. Alex had to manage currency fluctuations, taxation in multiple countries, and international banking logistics. He consulted advisors and implemented systems to streamline these processes, ensuring smooth transactions and compliance. He realized that global expansion was as much about operational strategy as it was about vision. It required meticulous planning, adaptability, and foresight. During this period, Alex faced unexpected challenges. A marketing campaign in Italy underperformed due to cultural misalignment, and a payment processing issue temporarily disrupted subscriptions in South America. Instead of panic, Alex approached these setbacks strategically. He adjusted content, collaborated with local consultants, and implemented better monitoring systems. Each challenge reinforced his understanding that scaling globally demanded resilience, agility, and continuous learning. With his platform thriving domestically and internationally, Alex faced a new challenge: managing a growing empire. His team had expanded, his user base was multiplying across continents, and income streams were increasingly complex. The game had reached a level where manual management was no longer sustainable. To maintain growth and efficiency, Alex needed to master automation and systems. Alex began by evaluating his operations. He listed every recurring task: onboarding students, processing payments, updating course materials, responding to customer inquiries, tracking performance metrics, and marketing campaigns. The sheer volume was overwhelming, and Alex realized that without proper systems, he risked inefficiency, errors, and burnout. He understood that automation wasn't just about convenience, it was a strategic necessity to scale effectively.
The first step was implementing AI-driven tools. Alex integrated systems that could personalize learning experiences automatically, assign exercises based on student performance, and track progress without constant human intervention. This freed his tutors and content team to focus on higher-value tasks like creating new courses and providing live support for complex issues. Alex was amazed at the efficiency gains. Tasks that once took hours each day could now be handled seamlessly by intelligent systems. Next, he automated marketing and customer engagement. Email campaigns, social media posts, and targeted ads were scheduled and personalized using advanced software. Analytics tracked user behavior, engagement rates, and conversion metrics, allowing Alex to make data-driven decisions without micromanaging each campaign. He realized that in the money game, information was power. Automated systems provided insights at scale, enabling smarter, faster decisions. Alex also implemented operational dashboards to monitor every aspect of the business, from financial performance and subscription trends to student satisfaction and team productivity. He could now view critical metrics in real time. This system allowed him to identify issues early, optimize processes, and allocate resources effectively. Automation didn't replace his strategy, it amplified it, giving him the ability to act with precision and speed. Human resources were another area where automation proved transformative. Alex set up workflows for team onboarding, training, and performance tracking. Regular check-ins were scheduled automatically, and feedback systems ensured continuous improvement. This not only maintained quality, but also fostered accountability and engagement across his growing international team. Alex realized that strong systems empowered people. They provided clarity, structure, and freedom to focus on impactful work. With these systems in place, Alex could now pursue strategic initiatives rather than get bogged down in daily operations. He experimented with new course formats, explored emerging markets, and tested high-impact marketing strategies. Automation became a force multiplier. Every process, once manual and time-consuming, now ran efficiently, allowing Alex to leverage his efforts across multiple dimensions simultaneously. By this stage, Alex's platform was thriving, his operations were fully automated, and his global expansion was running smoothly. Yet he understood that true financial mastery required looking beyond the present. The next level of the money game was strategic investments in emerging markets and future technologies, opportunities that could define the next decade of growth. Alex began by studying global trends. He examined industries poised for exponential growth: renewable energy, artificial intelligence, biotechnology, blockchain, and sustainable consumer products. He read research reports, attended international conferences, and analyzed venture capital movements to understand where innovation and demand intersected. He realized that predicting the future required both analytical rigor and intuition, combining data with a sense of vision. His first high-potential investment was in a renewable energy startup focused on solar microgrids in developing countries. The project had potential to transform energy access for thousands of people while offering substantial returns. Alex committed a calculated portion of his capital, balancing risk with the potential reward. He also took an advisory role, contributing insights on strategy, marketing, and operations, ensuring his investment could actively grow in value. Simultaneously, Alex explored artificial intelligence applications for education. He identified a small AI company developing adaptive learning algorithms that could personalize student experiences across multiple subjects. The technology complemented his platform perfectly. He invested strategically, forming a partnership that allowed early integration into his system. This move wasn't just financial, it was a strategic synergy, enhancing the long-term value of both his platform and the investment itself. Alex continued diversifying. He allocated a portion of his portfolio to biotechnology startups focused on health optimization, digital wellness apps, and sustainable consumer products. Each investment was chosen not only for potential returns, but also for alignment with global trends and societal impact. Alex realized that investing in the future wasn't just about profit. It was about shaping industries and contributing to meaningful change. The challenge, however, was managing the complexity of multiple high-potential ventures. Alex implemented a monitoring system for all his future-oriented investments. He tracked performance metrics, regulatory changes, market adoption, and technological breakthroughs. This system allowed him to stay informed and proactive rather than reactive, giving him a strategic edge in highly dynamic industries. One significant lesson emerged during this period. Timing mattered as much as strategy. Alex witnessed a startup in renewable energy face delays due to local regulations, causing initial fluctuations in projected returns. Instead of panicking, he analyzed the situation, adjusted projections, and continued to support the company strategically. Patience, he realized, was critical. Sometimes the greatest opportunities required endurance and long-term vision. Alex had come a long way, from a young freelancer experimenting with small earnings to a global entrepreneur and strategic investor. Yet, he understood that the next level of financial mastery wasn't about working harder, it was about collaboration. Partnerships and joint ventures offered the ability to leverage resources, networks, and expertise to achieve exponential growth. He began by identifying potential partners whose strengths complemented his own. Some were established educational platforms seeking innovative technology. Others were startups in renewable energy, AI, or digital products looking for strategic guidance. Each opportunity was carefully analyzed. Potential returns, alignment with his vision, and the value of combined resources were key factors. Alex realized that in the game of money, the right partner could amplify success far beyond what any individual could achieve. The first venture was a collaboration with an international tech company developing AI-powered adaptive learning tools. By integrating their algorithms into his platform, Alex could enhance personalization for thousands of students globally. In return, the company gained access to his user base and market insights. The partnership created a win-win scenario, demonstrating how joint ventures could unlock value far beyond individual efforts. Next, Alex explored a joint venture with a renewable energy firm aiming to implement sustainable solutions in educational institutions. They proposed installing solar panels in schools across developing regions, and Alex helped structure the financial model, offering investment capital and strategic guidance. The project promised financial returns while making a positive social impact, a rare combination that aligned perfectly with his long-term vision. As these collaborations expanded, Alex refined his negotiation and strategic skills. He learned to establish clear agreements, define shared goals, and maintain transparency with partners. He discovered that the money game wasn't just about capital, it was about trust, communication, and building mutually beneficial relationships. The ability to create partnerships that added value for all parties became one of his greatest strengths. Through joint ventures, Alex was able to scale initiatives far faster than he could alone. Projects that would have taken years to implement now launched in months, leveraging the expertise, resources, and networks of his partners. He began to see his empire not just as a collection of income streams, but as an interconnected ecosystem of ventures, collaborations, and opportunities. Alex's journey had taken him from small freelance gigs to global entrepreneurship, passive income streams, diversified investments, mentorship, and strategic partnerships. Each step had taught him essential lessons: patience, strategy, risk management, resilience, and collaboration. The money game was no longer a mystery. It was a system he understood, navigated, and mastered. He looked back at the path he had taken and realized that success wasn't just about wealth, it was about learning continuously, creating value for others, building systems, and leaving a legacy. Every challenge, setback, and risk had contributed to his growth, shaping him into a confident strategist ready for future opportunities. As Alex reflected, he knew the journey was ongoing. The world was constantly evolving, new opportunities and challenges would arise, and the game of money would continue to offer new levels to conquer. But now he was prepared, not just to survive, but to thrive, innovate, and inspire others to play the game intelligently. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe, and next time we'll bring you more fascinating tales filled with strategies, growth, and lessons you can apply to your own life.